So in the previous video, we talked about the physical stock of the Pocket 4 Creator Combo, the launch date, and the pricing, along with a few rumored specs, but now we're getting more concrete details and things are starting to look a lot more interesting. Looking at what's actually inside, the biggest jump is clearly on the camera side. The Pocket 4 is expected to push into 6K at 60 frames per second, which is a solid step up from the Pocket 3's already reliable 4K. And this isn't just about a bigger number, it gives you more flexibility for cropping, reframing, and just generally working with your footage without losing quality. And a big reason this is possible comes down to the sensor. You're still getting a 1-inch sensor, but now it's paired with 50 megapixel stills. The Pocket 3, in comparison, sits at around 9.4 million pixels, which is enough for 4K, but not enough to comfortably push into higher resolutions like 6K. With the Pocket 4, there's simply way more data to work with, which allows it to capture higher resolution video and then process it more effectively. That said, don't expect a massive jump in low light performance just because of that 50 megapixel number. Since the sensor size itself hasn't changed, the overall light gathering ability stays in a similar range. Any improvements here will likely come from better processing rather than raw hardware. DJI will probably lean on techniques like pixel binning to combine pixels and produce cleaner, more balanced results when needed. Stabilization is another area where things seem to be evolving. The Pocket 3 already had a really solid 3-axis mechanical gimbal that handled hand movements well, but it couldn't fully eliminate that Z-axis bounce while walking. The Pocket 4 is expected to move toward a 4-axis hybrid system, possibly with some form of internal suspension, which should help smooth out that vertical movement and make footage feel even more stable in real-world use. Then there's ActiveTrack, which looks like it's getting a noticeable upgrade as well. Moving from version 6.0 to ActiveTrack 7.0, the focus seems to be shifting toward more intelligent tracking. Instead of just locking onto a subject, it can better predict movement and maintain focus even in more complex situations. And with more sensor data to work with, it should also handle things like distance and temporary obstructions more effectively. Other than that, there isn't a whole lot more to add right now. We've already covered most of the major points in the previous videos. And if you don't want to miss what happens next, make sure you're subscribed. Thanks for watching. Peace.